All right, so I think we can already say good evening and welcome to the last session of today. What are we talking about? It's the time of the year to talk about artificial intelligence and how to use this this technology in order to get more personalized and more customer-centric. I'm joined here today. My name is Manuel. I'm going to be the first presenter of the day, more theoretical around from a technical perspective. What do you need to do? Then I will be joined by Petr from Colors of Data. He will talk about how can you enable your organization, how have you streamlined your teams in order to become more customer-centric. And then in the end, Filip from O2 will also join us here to give you an example on how they actually implemented something like that in an actual live environment. All right, so personalization is obviously something which is basically accompanying us as organizations for the last decades. Here I have a couple of examples, a couple of statistics. You see only 16% have the capability of capture customer data and so forth. If you look at this slide, do you find something odd on this slide? Is there something strange when you look at this slide? It's about the years. These are statistics from the year 2015 and 2014, which is just showing me again, we still are living in the era of the unfulfilled promise of actual personalization. Because we were talking about it for the last 15 years, and somehow we still are not at the point that we really have achieved this level of personalization. Now, what happened the last 2 years? And this is the theory we as Bloomreach and I myself have. What happened the last years? Definitely the whole topic of AI. And why was it so difficult to pull all of this together? You see a lot of text on this slide, but you have to normalize the data. You have so many data queries. You have so many data sources. You have types. You have different teams. This is what Petr will talk about a little bit afterwards. So these were the challenges, and in our humble opinion, AI will be one of the enablers that we finally come to the point that personalization is not only an unfulfilled promise, it's something that is actually happening. So what you see here is, I always like to just introduce a little bit of AI. When you think about it, AI is already around for decades, maybe even more than a half of a century. We are talking about AI, machine learning, deep learning, neural networks, and so forth. And this was basically a slide I was always putting up maybe 2-3 years ago. We are good as humans in common sense, and machines are good in creativity and creating new stuff. But the thing is, now with the new era of generative AI, they become more and more also the machines are getting into this side as well. Creativity, common sense. I just give you an example. As a side hustle, I do a little bit of marketing for a friend of mine who has 2 hotels, and unfortunately the hotels are not in the middle of the mountains. So we were thinking about a campaign, how can we bring customers in winter to our hotel? And I said, hey, let's do a campaign about, do you really want to go to Ischgl or wherever and wait for hours in the line of a ski lift? No. This is actually a picture generated by one of these generative AI systems where I just said a huge crowd waiting in front of a ski resort, and this was the result. It's amazing. In a couple of seconds, I was able to create something, curate, and create actually a complete campaign around it. But one of the problems we have with AI is, obviously, I think I'm a little bit too far away. No, not working anymore, all right. Why is it not working? So now, sorry for that. The problem is often with these generative AIs is that they have still a lot of hallucinations. And you see here one of these prompts, salmon swimming down a river. Yeah, it's right, this is a salmon, but we all know with our common sense, this salmon is not swimming anymore. It's swimming in my mouth maybe, but nowhere else. So just as an example again, when it comes down to AI, we still have a long way to go. So what we as Bloomreach, with our technology, and this is the technology which is also enabled at O2, what we really want to achieve is something that we can really enable the marketeer into a data-driven creator. You know, many years ago, the data team and the creative marketing team, they were often not even sitting in the same building of many companies. And we want to bring this together, this whole aspect of data-drivenness and the creative side of marketing. And how we are doing this. And here, of course, one of these beautiful architectures, no presentation is complete without an architecture. You see, what is it all about? It's basically about 3 to 4 steps. It's in the end, you have a lot of customer-centric data in your different systems. You have maybe already an embedded customer data, a CRM, however you call it. What we are basically doing is creating a single marketing view of the customer, so a customer-centric, marketing-centric view, and then from there, you can also then activate this on any channel. Whether it's an ad audience, whether it's an email, an SMS, whatsoever, you can immediately activate it on both sides. And you can do this with a data infrastructure, but of course also with something that is already completely new. One of the main things, we are talking about customer data here, is obviously the data is the fuel for the artificial intelligence to then create all these kind of personalizations, recommendations, and so forth. One of the most important aspects is, of course, that we have a coherent journey from the first interaction with a customer until the customer puts something into a basket. We want to have a coherent, personalized, curated journey for the customer. And since, as I said, we're talking about customer data, one thing which is extremely important, I'm personally from Central Europe. We are even more, let's say, sometimes a little bit quirky when it comes down to customer data. GDPR, SOC, ISO 27001, and so forth. So it's very important that the customer data is secure. And this is basically all the certifications we basically obtain in this area. So, couple of examples. I just would like now to finish with a couple of examples on AI. What can you find in our solution when it comes down to AI functionalities? First of all, what is it basically what we as Bloomreach are providing? We have our own proprietary data. Second thing is, yeah, we are a bunch of very smart people, but there are a lot of other smart people out there as well. So for instance, we integrate into Vertex AI from Google, into other functionalities, for instance, from NVIDIA, and we have an industry-specific unit for e-commerce. And this is basically the fair we are in here. So partnering with us is really a bet on AI leadership, Google and NVIDIA. And I'll just give you 2 examples that you see what actually is possible with AI in such a system. The first example is, for instance, we have already a smart assistant in our solution. I don't know how you are, but normally marketeers are not statisticians or mathematicians. So normally a marketeer has an idea, what do I want to achieve? What kind of report do I need? And instead of doing this by yourself, you have a prompter where you can, I always call this the Captain Picard moment, like Captain Picard on Starship Enterprise, who communicates with the computer. You can here communicate with your assistant, and the assistant helps you create and curate the data. And the next thing, and this is the last point, is about auto-segmentation. That the system, the AI, is giving you as a marketer, is giving you hints. Hey, by the way, here we have maybe a very interesting segment you could market on. It's not something that you have to do, but the segmentation and the AI is done automatically and gives you hints to find the right segments and to increase conversion, to increase revenue, and so forth. All of this is obviously technology. Now the question is, how do I bring something like that into an actual environment? This is basically where, Petr, I would like to hear from you. How do you now take the technology and successfully apply it in an organization?
All right, thank you, Manuel. Well, what you have done perfectly is maybe to bring that fear of missing out in everyone in the room, and maybe some AI panic set in for people. And even you might have read in the news about AI, you know, it's doing that, it's doing everything, basically. Well, I'm going to tell you what you really should do in your company. I'm going to give you 5 key pillars, what your company needs to do in order to be ready for the AI and proper utilization of data. So the first thing that needs to be ready is the vision. Have the right vision. Someone needs to drive where the company should be heading. Second one is the right team. all the experts in the marketing team, in the CRM team need to be well equipped. Then the next one is the right data. Right data needs to be in place, timely and accurate. You need the right tools and you need the right operations in the team. And I'm gonna now let you on a little secret. Almost no one is ready for proper utilization of data, and almost no one is ready to employ AI today. So what is the typical thing is that there is no one really taking care of the right vision for the organization. There is not a good skill set in the team, as the team set that is required to properly utilize data in CRM has changed over the course of years. The data is not available in proper tools like Bloomreach, and also the operation of the team is slow and inefficient. We have one of our clients has a CEO that approves every single email that goes out to clients, and that's one example of an inefficient operations. And now let me tell you a bit about 3 different farmers, and I'm going to tell you how it's similar to the CRM or to CRM teams in companies. There is one type of farmer, the first one, that is the supermarket farmers. They're motivated to produce for volumes, but not really for quality. And see the comparison to CRM teams, where you're maybe asked to send emails to everyone, but no one really cares about the quality of the personalization. Then there is a local farmer in tomato production that really produces high quality tomatoes, absolutely delicious, but the volumes are super low. And that's also similar to a lot of companies that how they do marketing in the CRM is that, yeah, we are able to personalize communication to some customers, but we don't find high volumes. So 95% of the communication that goes out is really low quality, but the 5%, the first pilots that we run, that's where we have some success, and that's similar to the local farmers. But then there is San Marzano. That's the tomatoes that are absolutely delicious. It's produced in a specific region in Italy. It's a special breed of tomatoes that are producible in the highest quality in the world, but at the same time quite high volumes. And that's what marketers are also after. So as a marketer, if you really want to build great customer-centric communication, that's where it gets super difficult. And that's where you really need to have that San Marzano mindset. How do we employ the best tools that are available? How do we bring in the vision that is the strongest support of for the whole team? And that really delivers on the high quality of personalization that goes out in high volumes and really is loved by the customers, that improves the customer experience and creates the most value. So that's the ultimate idea. You want to become that San Marzano tomato producer, the customer-centric communication that is the absolute fundamentals. So let me come back to the 5 key pillars now. Let me tell you a bit more about that. Imagine you'd like to open a restaurant here in London, and you don't want any ordinary restaurant. It needs to be Michelin star restaurant that you want to open. And a lot of companies think about it in a way that, yeah, we only need the right tools. That would be like Michelin chefs saying, we just need plates, we just need pans. No, that's not all that you need. You need that chef that handles the vision, handles the what great looks like for the company. Then second, you need the right team. In today's world, the marketers need to be, the marketing team needs to have CRM analysts, needs to have marketing technology experts, needs to have people that understand data. Then you need data, and as the proper ingredients is for your Michelin dishes, you need data that are in perfect quality and in real time, ideally. Then the tools, of course, in the Michelin restaurant, you need the pans, you need the right equipment. In the case of marketing, you need the right tools, such as Bloomreach for the customer data platform and other tools in the stack, and then the operations. I've already mentioned one of our client CEO that approves every email. That's not very effective for the cooperation. That's not very effective for the organization to run well. So that's for me. Those are the key takeaways. Maybe questions for you to reflect in your organization, and I'll hand it to Filip from O2, who is also one of our clients, and that's not their CEO that approves the subject lines, but he'll tell you a bit more how they actually use Bloomreach in their organization.
Thanks. Hi, hi all. My name is Filip Višňovský. I work for O2 Czech Republic, and I have the last part of this presentation. I have selected 3 practice use cases which is related to omnichannel customer journeys. But I would like to start by asking you, how many of you have some experience with omnichannel or cross-channel use cases? Raise your hands. Okay, great. So I hope some of our ideas will give you some inspiration to do some new use cases. But now let's move to first one. It's focus on app installation. This use case starts with customer interaction with our sales channel. It can be our O2 store or our call center. It's important because we know from our data that part of our customer base is difficult to reach through digital channels, and interaction, especially in our stores, are great opportunity because our shop assistant can take customer phone and directly install app and onboard customer to application. Next step is that shop assistant just verify customer and open their CRM customer profile, as you can see on the screen. And now, in real time, in Exponea, we check if this customer has our application, and if not, we show this banner to shop assistant, and in this banner you can see there are unique sale proposition where customer should has our application. For maximum simplicity, we send SMS to customer with a link to App Store. Aim is to speed up and improve customer service. Next step, it's basic, just app install and then log into app. But it isn't over. We know app install and log into app are first step for future monetization, and we need to motivate our customer to use our application. So in Bloomreach, we have various follow-up scenarios. Is mostly content and customer experience messages. For example, new benefits in O2 Radosti, and O2 Radosti is our benefits program. An important thing, this use case is doing by Bloomreach. The next one is online customer acquisition. Our customer and non-customer too visits our internet landing page. On the top of web, directly in page image, you can see internet availability form, and we want customer to check their internet availability. You know, we spent a lot of money to performance campaign, and we want to increase our profitability. So if customers input wrong address or phone number or just leave it empty, as in this case, we open personalized chatbot via Bloomreach, and we want to help customer to finish the order. If check of internet availability is successful, we show the offer to customer. We have strategic goal to do at least 50% of new transaction through digital channels. So that's the reason why first button is online order and secondary button is call me back. Next steps is that customer adds internet to a cart, and I forgot to mention one important thing. When customer check their internet availability, in that moment we create a lead to our call center. But from our analysis, we found out that our call center are fast and calling customer when they are in purchasing process. So here is a room for Bloomreach, where we have various control mechanism to check if the customer is still in the cart, and if it is, we just stop the lead to call center. Then we are waiting for event session end, which indicates that customer leaves website, and if customer leaves website without converting, we send the lead to call center to finish order. As I mentioned, we want to increase our profitability, and every call is additional cost. So it's one of the reasons why we do this use case. And the last one is reward for engagement. This use case has really simple customer journey for customer, but in Bloomreach we need to connect and process data from various sources. For example, product data, customer data, data from interaction, and so on. Like first use case, this one starts with customer interaction 2. It can be, again, AutoStore, it can be our call center, it can be our chat, etc. And after 30 minutes, after interaction, we just check data, customer data, available offer to customer, of course, data from interaction, and then we send a thank you email or push to customer with a reward. It depends on preferred channel. Then when customer click on push notification, it's open the application, and we display the reward in the most visible position. In this case, it's first position in carousel banner. And the last step is reward activation, which is really, really simple. It takes just 2 clicks. Okay, and that's all. Manuel?
Thank you, Philip. All right, so just to wrap up, I think what we saw the last 25 minutes, I just started with a little bit of what is the technology behind it, what are the trends in the market. Petr showed us, and I always like his example with the cuisine, that you need a good team and so forth, but in the end, it's a team, it's the vision, it's the teamwork, and then Bloomreach is basically the tool, and Philip was able to show you that, yeah, the tool gives him the flexibility to take the data and directly engage with the customers, use, for instance, and this is, for instance, this whole thing about email or push. What is the affinity of the customer? When is the right time to engage the customer, and so forth. So I would like now to basically thank you for attending this session. Just one reminder, if you go straight this corridor, last booth on the right is the Bloomreach booth, so you can there get a couple of information. We have a couple of experts there if you want to know more. We also have a little raffle there where you can win a little flight voucher, sorry, Sophie. So invite you over there, and in the end, yeah, it was the last session of the day. I wish you all a nice rest of the evening. Hopefully you will have maybe a drink or the other here. Looking forward to see you again. Thank you very much.